Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you beautiful, wonderful people are watching. Welcome to like a science video, I suppose. Now this was suggested by our very own Nima, kind of the brain behind the underground racetrack over there. And Nima asked, hey, well, how far can bikes jump? So we set up a testing ground, see how far bikes can jump, and see if it's viable to have like a bike jump into your base. That way, instead of having like this open entrance where zombies will start banging on your doors, what if you're just completely walled off and the only access you had to get inside of your base was vehicles jumping over walls? So what I set up here is kind of like a, well, I guess you could say a distance long jump test course. And what I did is I built a couple different sized ramps and shaped ramps, and I put the floating base design in, which you'll see over at the actual Horde base, because we are going to test this shenanigan setup we have here. And what I did is I put down some spikes to see what the distance the bikes can actually jump is, on top of, can it jump at least a 2-foot gap? And then maybe we'll see how much further we can go. So first things first, let's start off with a motorcycle. And what I have set up here is the left side of the orange lines will be like a catch zone, I suppose, on the other side of your base. And the right side is just like the long jump version. And we have that set up for the wedge ramp, which I'll show you how I made in a second. The regular ramp, about, what is it, 4 or 5 tall? 4 tall, which is probably your average base wall height. And then, of course, we have twice as tall, twice as nice. Will we even make it up the ramp? Let's find out. I don't have any mods inside of the bike to make it go faster. I do have a supercharger in the box we're going to use in a bit, but I want to see how the base bike did. So first, let's see if we can make it up from the ramp here. Whoa, and with flying colors, we made it inside of the box. So a 2-wall gap we can absolutely make. Now let's see what the long jump does for us. Now I am holding shift the entire time as if I'm a supercharged Vin Diesel bike rider. Whoa, okay, that was some distance. Now did we damage any spikes? Because that kind of is why the spikes are here. No, but I know we landed like somewhere around here, so we could extend out the base. Let's see how far out we can go. So I extended the landing zone 4 blocks out. I feel like if this end of the ramp was here and our wall started here for our base, that is a pretty zombie-proof jump, except for spider monkeys. But, you know, who cares? This is for fun. This is for science. We're not going to get too far into the details here. Sweet. So if we put the catch cage at the end of that there, we should be all right. So the 4-block gap did work. Our bike landed like right over here. If you threw a catch cage on the wall like this and maybe threw a door on the side, this would be completely viable as a base entrance. Maybe if you have your other wall over here, you just have like a whole bike catwalk and this is like your main entrance, kind of like a fancy elevated hotel. All right, and up next we do have our 4-block ramp blocks. They are much steeper than the other wedge ones, so let's see if this will work. Oh, barely. I don't like the looks of this. I don't think we're going to be able to do the tall one. And as far as distance goes, how far do we make it? Oh, we're just going to go flop right over this time. So yeah, even the 4-block regular ramp will not be a very good option, so let's see if we can just make it up this final ramp here. 3, 2, 1, banana boat! You can do it, dude! Yeah, so definitely go with the wedge tips. That is the best option. Regular ramp is not all that great for motorcycles. Alright, and I threw the supercharger mod on just to see if this will work any better. Let's check it out. Alright. Oh! So supercharger mod will work to get up the regular 4 high ramp. And let's try supercharger mod with the super high ramp. Is this going to be viable? Maybe? It is! Well, that's cool. That's good to know. The supercharger mod is much better when it comes to going up ramps, but I would still suggest building your ramp out of the wedge tips. Now, it wouldn't be much science if we did not test more than just the motorcycle, so let's try the mini bike out here. 4 high, 2 block gap. We can easily make that. Trying again with the 4 block gap. Can the mini bike make it? Ooh, barely. So yeah, be careful if you're doing the 4 block gap there. I think the motorcycle is much better suited. And for the regular ramp blocks, yeah, this. So I wouldn't even try it with a mini bike. Let's hop on the 4x4. We'll move on over to how I quickly built the ramp base. And yeah, then we'll go test it out. All right. So the regular tip base. Oh, easily. You can easily build the 4 block wide wall there. That worked out great. Let's go try it on the other ramps. Ooh, listen to that engine purr. Can't we do it? No, disappointment. Well, that's science for you. Oh, jeez. I thought I was gonna be stuck there for a second. So yeah, motorcycle's the way to go. That worked out the best. I would highly suggest a catch cage or a larger landing platform. Let's head on over and check out our base. Sweet. Well, here is our gap jump horde base. So as we just learned, we can probably extend this gap a bit farther. And all this is the wedge tips, and then I have the floating base over here. And these poles are really not necessary. I just kind of use them to start building. And then after that, I supported the rest of the structure with these ramps up here and the floating plates. If you don't know how to make those, go check out my noob base tutorial. I show how to make the floating base there. So yeah, first, real quick, the configuration. First, we have the concrete wedge 60 tip, followed by the concrete plate wedge 60 incline. You can find those whenever you hold R and go change your shape. So first, I put down the tip, then the incline will secure the back of the tip. Now the problem is the tip has to be supported underneath. So I just put down a block there and continue the pattern. And I did use the 0.025 meter poles to hold up the rest of it. They are smaller, so the zombies have a harder time getting stuck on them, which is something you really want for your horde base or any base in general. So sweet, let's go hop on our bike, arm up, and see if this base holds up against anything fun. Woo! Hoo-hoo! All right. And as we learned with our underground racetrack, if we start the horde on top of a bike, it's going to spawn in birds first, which would be awesome. That means there's less zombies to spawn in to attack us from all these different sides. Drawbridge is up. Ooh, Horde Night is upon us. We have some friends spawning in. Fantastic. Look at them all just popping into existence like that. That's fantastic. Oh, of course, the big dude's going for the ramp first. He wants to lose some weight. We got Loose Lois whacking at that stuff. Well, sweet. I took out the supports that were underneath the base there, and the zombies decided that, hey, that's no longer supporting anything. Now, there is the occasional wackadoodle going on over here. But again, if you build your base higher, they will stop doing that. I like to build my bases low because, well, it's quicker. But if you're fighting these guys, it should not be a problem. So let's actually get down to doing that. Well, good morning. Nothing overly exciting happened. So let's get back out here. We'll see what the damage was. Come here, guys. The damage isn't too bad, but that's not the point of today's episode. Today's episode was more or less science, and we wanted to see if you could just cut out the base entrance and use some sort of ramp to ride your motorcycle or vehicle over the top of your wall. That was the success. If you use the wedge tip ramp, that worked out beautifully. I'd definitely suggest going for that. But I would not recommend using just the straight ramps. They don't work that well for vehicles. They're really good for zombie pathing, and that feels like that's about it. So if you liked today's episode, don't forget to drop a like and leave suggestions. The past few episodes have been nothing but suggestions by you guys. I love doing them. So please, if you have an idea, drop it in the comments. But for now, can you use a motorcycle to jump a base wall and just cut out the base entrance? Absolutely. I say go for it. Have fun with it. It's your game. Play it however the heck you like. And thank you so much, Nima, for your suggestion. As always, you are a NASA rocket scientist. You have some really good ideas. Keep them coming. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one.